Hey, Mr. Woody, I think I found the source of that water leak. And that's what we're going to talk about on Ask Woody Wednesday.
Well, it's the first week of October, and if you're here in Georgia, you're probably as disappointed as I am that it's still hot outside. So this is actually perfect timing to talk about something that happens very frequently in the upcoming winter months, the ever common burst pipe or water damage claim. As any of you know that have been through this, it's not only in the wintertime that this happens. In fact, you might have been on vacation at the beach and then come back home only to find that your basement was flooded because your hot water heater ruptured or a pipe burst or there was a leak while you were away. How common are water damage and or freezing claims? This is what's crazy. So it's actually the second most common homeowners insurance claim that exists. You know, 1 in 50 insured homes file a water damage or freezing claim every single year. In fact, the average cost for one of those claims is around $10,000. And not to mention how much of a hassle it is for you and your family. I mean, the average time that it takes to dry out a home if a water mitigation team comes in and does that is approximately 3.5 days. That's 3.5 days of your normal everyday schedule where you're gonna have to get out of there so that all of those fans and machines can help to dry out your home. And some things that are extremely important to know as a homeowner or a future homeowner, how to help prevent this from happening and how to act quickly when and if it does. You see, in the case of water damage claims, speed is extremely important. So here are some tips. Number 1, know exactly where your water shutoff valve is in case of an emergency. If this happens in the middle of the night or at any time, you're gonna wanna shut off that water source as soon as possible. So knowing where your water cutoff valve is inside your home as well as out near the street typically is extremely important. Number 2, you're gonna wanna monitor your water bill. Look, if you're like me, anytime you get anything in the mail, it's nowadays you barely kind of glance over it, but I encourage you all to open your mail. This is a very important kind of tip, insurance in general, but monitoring your water bill will kind of clue you in. If it's extremely high one month, then maybe there's a leak that you can't see and you need to call your water company to come out and see if they can locate that leak. Number 3, make sure you're replacing the hoses on your washer, on your dishwasher, and various other appliances that deal with water. Make sure that those hoses are still in good condition because you don't want that to be the source of a leak. Next, if you have a sump pump, you're gonna wanna make sure that it works because when the time comes that you need it, you're gonna wanna make sure that it functions properly. And if you don't have an alternate power source for the sump pump, look into purchasing, a backup power source just in case it fails. It's also important to make sure that your gutters are completely clean of any leaves or debris. Look, I love the fall. It's my favorite time of year. But that means that there's gonna be a lot more leaves, of course, falling from the trees and getting into the gutters. Now, one way to prevent that, of course, is to have gutter covers, things like that. But I have those. Let's go take a look at my gutters. Full disclosure, I haven't been over there yet, and I'm not sure what we're gonna find. Let's go. All right, I'm actually kind of proud of the situation here. Not, as you can see, not a whole lot of leaves. Why is that important? So that they can work properly. You do not want any water pooling in areas or any water that's not being correctly directed away from your foundation. All of those problems will cause water to come into your house, obviously unwanted, and cause some serious damage. Lastly, make sure that you're inspecting your hot water heater. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna look out for any signs of corrosion, rust, or any kind of leaks because it's very common after a hot water heater reaches a certain age for it to basically burst. That's a large volume of water in a short amount of time and it's gonna cause some serious damage. So the important thing to note is there are plenty of things that you can do to prevent something like this from happening. One that I failed to mention was making sure that you shut your water supply off before you go on a long trip to make sure that you don't come home to any crazy surprises. Listen, Thank you so much for watching Ask Woody Wednesday. Do me a favor, it would mean the absolute world to me if you click the like button and shared this video with a friend. Don't forget that this is my weekly video series where every single Wednesday, rain or shine, I answer your insurance questions, or most importantly, the insurance questions that you never even knew you needed to ask.